Right then, hello everyone. Shwmai pawb, a chroeso nôl I llwyfan y Pulse. Welcome back to the Pulse stage. Next up, we have Tech Talent in the Civil Service. Features a group of early career tech professionals who are building exciting features in the UK civil service. Our panel will share what drew them to public service and how they're developing their skills while making a real impact. This session will be chaired by Rohan, Director of Digital and Technology at Companies House, offering a fantastic opportunity to gain valuable insights into how the civil service is nurturing tech talent and creating meaningful career pathways. Rohan, I'll hand it over to you and our panel. Hope you all enjoy. Diolch yn fawr.
Yeah, thank you very much, and welcome everybody to this talk about our career journeys here in Companies House and the wider civil service. I'll introduce my fellow panel members and initially, and then I'll give you a little bit of background to Companies House, then we'll hear their career journeys to date. Over to you first of all, Phoebe.
Hi, I'm Phoebe. I'm a senior interaction designer at Companies House.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Lawrence Walker, and I'm a DevOps engineer at Companies House.
Hello, I'm Lucy, and I'm a junior business analyst at Companies House.
So first of all, a little bit about Companies House. So who are we? So we're the register of businesses in the UK, England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. We're based in Cardiff. We're part of the UK Government Civil Service, part of the Department for Business and Trade. We've been around since the 19th century, so very much predating the digital era, but certainly since the early 2000s, we've been very much a digital by default organisation. We've got a really large internal digital and technology team. We've got just under 400 full-time members of staff in all sorts of roles. So we've got three great examples here on the stage today, but everything from user research to people kind of building laptops all the way through to software development and testing. So we've got a really wide range of roles. We've also got a very large data directorate doing data analysis, data engineers, cybersecurity, etc. So we're really proud that we develop in-house talent within Companies House and within the civil service. And we'll give you a little insight into what we do today, hopefully to whet your appetite to kind of explore the kind of careers that might be open to some of you. So if I flip forwards, hopefully. Oh, it's not working. I seem to have lost those slides there, Paul. Thank you. Oh, yeah, that's good. So there's a little bit about our vision statement. We're not going to talk about that too much, but it gives you an insight into what we do. So our role in Companies House is to be the trusted guardian of business information and corporate transparency. We're there to support economic growth. So if you're a business, you register with Companies House, and also then to protect business from harm. So to make sure that people don't abuse the information that's on the register. So we're very much that custodian of business information. Here's a little bit, some kind of factoids and some stats. So as you can see, some really large numbers there in terms of transactions per annum, the volumes and that we've got there as well. I can't quite see the data. I'll go down here, it's easier to see. So 91.8% submitted electronically. So of all those transactions, a lot of that comes in to the organisation digitally. We're really proud to have such a wide range of suite of digital services, and also the availability of the services absolutely integral to us to make sure that they're available to our users when we need to. We're going through a period of massive transformation at the moment where we're transforming the corporate landscape. We're introducing new rules to ensure that we know who our users are. So we're going through a period of transition at the moment where we'll be identity verifying every single business user. So that's directors and people of significant control. It's a massive program of work that the team's been working on now for over 3 years. I'm really proud of the work that we've achieved. We're also really proud that we've got a very diverse and inclusive community in Companies House. We get people from all backgrounds, walks of life. Whilst we're based in Cardiff, we've also got offices in Edinburgh and Belfast. But we also employ people across the UK, particularly in the digital and data and technology roles. So we have got people all the way from Perthshire in Scotland, all the way down to the southwest of England, and everywhere in between. So we're really proud that we're an employer that is based in Cardiff. That's our hub. But we're also got the ability to recruit and get the best talent from across the UK. So that's enough, I think, about the background of Companies House. So we'll talk a little bit about the stories and the people that make Companies House such a great place to work. So I'm going to turn to Phoebe first of all and ask you a question, Phoebe, about your kind of journey. What brought you to Companies House in the first place, and what do you do? Tell us a little bit about your job and your journey so far.
Yeah, thank you, Rohan. So I joined Companies House on a digital grad scheme all the way back in 2020 now. And it wasn't something I ever would have predicted I would have done when I was at school or university. I'd taken humanities subjects at A level, and then I went on to do a history degree and then a journalism course. So I never foresaw that I would end up working in digital. But it was when I was working as a reporter for a short period of time that I started to realize that actually I did have an interest in tech and developing digital skills. I'd learned a bit about data journalism on my course, and then I was using digital analytics to monitor our news website, and then I started to learn a bit more about how to use code to do data analysis for stories and things like that. And I was finding I was really enjoying it, but wanted to learn more and was frustrated that I hadn't lent into learning more digital skills when I was at school. So for various reasons, I started to think about my long-term career and options and thought I wanted to look broader than journalism, which is when I came across the grad scheme opening at Companies House, which was a digital grad scheme, but it was open to people of any degree background rather than you see a lot of grad schemes that are focused on potentially like computer science and things like that. So I was really pleased to come across it because I could apply with my history degree. So I was very fortunate that I got a place on the grad scheme. And when I joined Companies House, I started rotating through the different digital departments. I spent time with business analysts, software testing, in data analytics, which is where I initially thought I would like to end up with a job after the grad scheme. But it was when I was with product design that I ended up learning about professions that I didn't know existed before I joined Companies House. And that's where I've stayed ever since as an interaction designer. So in my role, I work really closely with user researchers and content designers and service designers and business analysts and other stakeholders who feed us requirements. And then we work to build services that are easy to use for all our customers. And I actually think it taps into some of my journalistic training, which was about, writing things clearly that appeal to the widest number of readers. And now I'm trying to build services that are usable to all our users. I've been really well supported at Companies House. There's a lot of people that I've met across the business who have maybe started in one career and ended up in another. And so I think that would be my biggest piece of advice is don't pigeonhole yourself. Whatever you're studying or whatever you're interested in, you'll be picking up transferable skills. And you might surprise yourself with where you end up in your career or what you end up discovering you enjoy at work and pursuing once you're in the workplace.
Yeah, I was going to ask Phoebe while you got the mic, that kind of advice to somebody, because you didn't kind of envisage yourself kind of joining the civil service, because obviously people, you might have had a different perception. What did you think about it before, and what do you think now about the kind of opportunities that you've got within Companies House, but also the broader civil service?
I don't think I knew that much about the civil service before I came across the grad scheme at Companies House. But since joining, like I say, it's become really apparent that lots of people have long careers from starting out, say, as a grad or school leavers or apprenticeships. And then there's a lot of opportunity to either build up within the profession that you're in or even like jumping across different departments. Like for example, I work with a developer who's now a user researcher, which might seem like quite a big jump across. But yeah, I think there's plenty of opportunity to carry on learning, developing, and I think a lot of departments are interested in people that have cross-profession skills.
And what's next for you? Where do you see your career going long term? Hopefully in Companies House, but
I'm not sure. I have actually started to think longer term about maybe I would want to explore transferable skills I've now picked up in interaction design and maybe think about product management and product ownership in the future. But we'll see. I really like my role at the moment and the team that I'm in. So
good answer. Okay, we'll pass over to you, Lawrence. And again, same question to you. Tell us a little bit about what got you into Companies House in the first place and what your kind of career pathway's been so far.
Yeah, thanks, Rohan. So hi everyone. My name's Lawrence Walker. As I said, I'm a DevOps engineer at Companies House, and I think to start off, I'm going to give you a bit of a kind of backstory as to how I got to this point, and talk a bit about the graduate scheme that I was on as well. So going back to kind of college time, I initially started off doing the A-level route, but after a year, I ended up actually going into BTech IT instead. And that's kind of the start of the journey I've been on from now, really. So after that, I had to decide, do I want to do an apprenticeship, do I want to do an apprenticeship degree, or do I want to go to university? I chose university as my route and ended up going to Cardiff University to do computer science. And during my time there, I did a placement year. And that was a really good opportunity for me to work in an office for the first time. I don't know about all of you, but before I'd worked in an office, I had some assumptions. I thought, oh, it's going to be really boring and no one enjoys their work. That was my assumptions. But actually, over that year, I really picked up that that's not true at all. People really do enjoy their work, and there's some different types of roles you can do. There's endless opportunities. So going back into my university time, that was really helpful for me to decide what next after university. And that's why we kind of get to this point with Companies House. I could see they were doing a graduate scheme, and I applied. Went through the process, so the application, there was an assessment day, and then an interview stage, and I was fortunate enough to get the role. And then during my graduate scheme, it was 2 years, I ended up working in a variety of different teams. They included software development, data, so like data science, different roles like that. I worked as a software tester, and I finally worked as a DevOps engineer, which is where I've ended up staying. Now, the reason that I'm so grateful for that time, for the rotations and the different graduate scheme opportunities, is because I picked up, as Phoebe said, so many transferable skills and so many opportunities that I wouldn't have had if I was just stuck in one role. And it's not to say that you can't learn from one role, but I'm really grateful that actually I got to experience different areas, especially within the data roles. There are things that I'd never learned before. And even in DevOps, even though I did computer science at university, there's a lot of things that I wouldn't have known about if I'd never done this DevOps role. And I had other opportunities as well, different work trips, and I was also able to help out at Cardiff College, doing like a course for some of the students there, which was really great. And again, wouldn't have happened without the graduate scheme. So yeah, it kind of gives you up to today. I'm now a DevOps engineer. I picked that as my career, and I'm going down that path. But just some pieces of advice for any of you who are maybe in a similar position or maybe not there yet. I'd say one piece of advice would be, don't just pigeon yourself into one box. A bit like what Phoebe was saying, really. You'd be surprised at what you may enjoy from a role that you never heard of before or even knew much about. Because that's what's happened for me in DevOps. If you'd asked me 5 years ago, would I be a DevOps engineer, I'd have said to you, what's DevOps? So, that says it all. But here we are today, and I'm really grateful for that. And another thing I'd like to say as well is, even when you are in a role, don't be afraid to try something else out. Because similarly to that, you may be surprised at what else you can pick up, what other skills you can learn, what other ways there are to do maybe the task that you're already doing. So yeah, if there's any more questions, I'd be happy to answer them afterwards, or come and find me wherever I am today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lawrence, while you got the mic, just a quick follow-up question as well to you. So, yeah, you've had a great experience so far in your journey. What's kind of next for you in terms of your own kind of career development? Where do you kind of see yourself going in the next few years?
I think for me right now, just continuing as a DevOps engineer, there's a lot I'm learning. It's a really great opportunity to be in the team, and I'd definitely say I'm kind of like a sponge right now. I'm just absorbing as much information as I can, learning bit by bit. So I think for me, kind of going into this skill more and trying to become a better engineer, truthfully, and then we'll go from there and see what happens.
See what happens. Great. Hand over to Lucy. So Lucy, same kind of question to you. Talk us through your kind of career journey so far, how you joined Companies House and how you kind of ended up in the role that you're currently in.
Sure. So yeah, just as a reminder, so I'm a junior business analyst. So a key part of my role at the moment is to work within what we call a Scrum team, which is, to really quickly summarize, I guess, like a group of different people with different roles. So like a software developer, a product delivery manager, tester, all those sorts of things, who all work towards a certain project with a deadline. And specifically within my Scrum team, I, as the analyst, kind of do all sorts of different things. So I might talk to stakeholders to gather different requirements and really try and figure out what we need to achieve and what we might need to do to get this product delivered. And then I might kind of write and document all of those requirements really clearly. And then I might also analyze these requirements, so check that these things are within scope, see whether they're technically feasible, and there's a lot of meetings and questions, and it's quite adaptable, and there's a lot of chopping and changing. People tend to say analysts wear a lot of different hats, and yeah, it's a lot of learning, but that's something that I really enjoy within the role. So I actually got this role after being a personal assistant, so completely different, in a different department. That was also in Companies House. But I think it's really useful to kind of emphasize how you really don't have to have any sort of background in digital or tech to be able to move into it. And like it's, I don't know, don't stress if you don't have any sort of digital experience, because it's very much something that you can transfer into, and there's a lot of transferable skills that you can gather from completely different roles. One fun fact is that I was actually a PA to Rohan here besides me, so yeah, I found that a really, really beneficial experience. Being able to step back and just enter a business and just kind of learn how they work, see what different people did, and really just take your time to figure out what's out there and discover new things you didn't even realize existed, or to think that you are interested in a certain path, and then by seeing it from the outside, you actually realize maybe you don't want to do that. But yeah, I was lucky enough to discover that business analysis existed through being a PA in the digital department kind of area. And yeah, that's how I've got to where I am now. Before that, so I actually graduated in 2023, also in a degree that's completely unrelated to digital, is philosophy, politics, and economics. So that also really emphasizes that you don't need to have this specific kind of profile or background to move into digital. And it's something that I'm really glad I found later on, and it's something that I didn't expect to move into and enjoy, but I really am so far. And one thing I guess that I found challenging, but I've also been quite proud of, is when I joined the project right in the middle of in the middle of the project, and it felt like I had so much to catch up on and learn, and I was learning the role, learning the project, and it can feel a little bit overwhelming, but just through sticking at it, asking questions, believing in yourself, like, you really can get to a place where you do start to feel useful. You feel like you've got a really good grasp of what's going on. You get that satisfaction of solving these different problems and delivering things you can see work. And yeah, so really just keep asking questions, believe in yourself, and remember that you got here purely on your own merit and because other people believed in yourself too. So yeah. That's how I got here.
Thanks, Lucy. So your kind of career pathway is slightly different to Lawrence and Phoebe. So you're not kind of a degree apprenticeship or similar graduate type scheme. You're actually doing an internal scheme. That's right, isn't it, in business analysis? So you're going to be doing qualifications. How are you finding mixing study with actually doing the kind of professional job day in, day out?
So I'm really enjoying it, like kind of having that slight change to your typical day, like keeping up that learning aspect that I really enjoyed in uni and school, and not letting that go. And Companies House is really good at letting you have time to develop and giving you like innovation time and specific time where your team understands and are very supportive for letting you focus on your exams and your studies. So yeah, I'm finding it okay because I know that I've got that time set aside where I'm allowed to focus on it.
Okay. Well, we've got about 10 minutes left, so we'll open up for questions from the audience. If you've got any questions for the panel, or indeed for me, please do open up. We've got a question on the right.
I've got a question about apprenticeships. I just wondered, when apprentices do well at Companies House, what do they do that other apprentices perhaps don't?
Ooh, we could ask some of the guys on the team, but I think from my perspective, I think what we try to offer is, as some of the colleagues have said on the stage, is a diversity of opportunities. So try and work on different teams and on different projects or different aspects of work within the organisation. So you get a flavour actually not just of a particular role, but several roles, and then identify which one is best for you in terms of your long-term journey, but also to kind of introduce yourself to the wider organisation. Because one of the kind of key things about Companies House, we're a relatively small organisation. We're about 2,500 people in total. As I said, about 400 within the digital area. Give you that opportunity to build your network as well. So I say the two unique things would be diversity of opportunity in terms of different roles, but also then trying to build that network of colleagues that you're going to rely on when you kind of move into your permanent position. Anything that any of the panel members want to add to that in particular? Go on, Phoebe. Because you've been through it, you know better than me.
I just thinking off the top of my head, there's a few examples I can think of previous. They're actually grad intakes, but I think the same would apply to apprentice intakes. Lucy mentioned that we have innovation time, which is where you can take half a day a week to work on something non-project related, but something that might benefit the organisation. And I know that some previous graduates created this thing called Curious Coffee, which you can sign up to, and it randomly matches you with someone else in the organisation. You just schedule in a little coffee catch-up with them. And I've done it, and it's been a really nice way to meet people, especially working remotely. So I think that's a good example of someone taking advantage of, like, yeah, innovation time and doing something really positive with it.
Thank you.
Hi guys. First of all, I would just like to thank you three for your insights. It's always lovely to see people advocate for their organisation and speak so eloquently about the opportunities you've had. For the benefit of the audience, I wonder if you might give people a view as to where they go to find out about opportunities in the civil service or Companies House or any other sister agencies that might be in the game of attracting young, bright new talent. So in terms of signposting, where might people go to find out about more information?
Yeah. Talk about your own experience as well.
Well, so I found the grad scheme that I applied for on LinkedIn, so that's somewhere to start. But specifically for civil service, you can use civil service jobs, where you can search by location and role, and you can set up alerts as well. But I don't know if either of you two.
Yeah, I found my job through civil service jobs, but I am aware now as well that there'll be webinars coming up as well for different opportunities. I would imagine if you sign up for the mailing list, then you'll be informed of that, and you'll be able to kind of join a call beforehand. There's no obligation, you know, to go for the role, but it just gives you a bit more information about said roles and, you know, the different opportunities that you can expect to happen if you were to pursue it.
Yeah, I'd also 2 points quickly. So we've got Jeff there at the front row. Go and see Jeff. He's the guru of all of our opportunities in Companies House. We've also got a stall at the back there. Pop over and see us if you want to have a chat later on. Also, Amy, thanks for the question. Amy's from DVLA down in Swansea. So if you're West Wales based or if you're also interested in opportunities, DVLA do a fantastic digital apprentice scheme, lots of different opportunities in different roles in the DVLA as well. I used to work in DVLA, so I say it's also a fantastic place to work and to grow your career. I spent 15 really enjoyable years of my own personal career there, and I know we've got some fantastic colleagues in DVLA. Also, I think it's worth recognising as part of the wider civil service, there's lots of digital data jobs across the whole of the civil service, based across the whole of the UK, doing some fantastically important work. And again, what we've described to you today is a snapshot of that in terms of the Companies House journey. But please, don't just take it from me. There are fantastic opportunities across the whole civil service in the digital space. Jeff, you're the expert on the opportunities in Companies House, so I'll let you have the mic.
Yes, just to add on to that. So civil service jobs, it's a bit of a labyrinth sometimes of applying through it. So we are a stand just over there, the other side of the coffee bar. So if you want any help in terms of setting up your civil service jobs account and how to put your best foot forward in applying for all these opportunities, we'll happily help you do that. We've got our QR codes on the stand. We can kind of take you to civil service jobs. And on our stand, there's a separate QR code for Companies House newsletter. So if you sign up for that, we will be sending you specific guidance on how to put your best foot forward on interview, where you sign up for all these webinars, and so you don't miss an opportunity. With the webinars that Lawrence mentioned, you can get those via the QR code, but every single apprenticeship and graduate job that Companies House puts out, there will be links in Civil Service Jobs advert for those webinars, open to everyone. You'll be greeted by myself for 45 minutes, where I'll go through the actual graduate opportunity, the apprenticeship opportunity, unpick it, and help you actually craft your best cover letter so you can put your best foot forward. So over there, sign up to the QR codes, and then have a little chat to me afterwards if you want.
Thank you, Jeff. Any other questions? I'm sure we've got one or two out there, Paul, surely. We carry on chatting, that's fine. Yeah, no problem at all. Lucy, I didn't ask you the question which I asked everyone else, which was kind of, obviously you're just starting out your journey now as a junior business analyst. There's a great career pathway through business analysis, but what's your kind of thoughts at this stage, in your early stages of your career? Where do you see yourself going in Companies House in the next few years?
Well, I got away with missing this question. So, I mean, honestly, right now I am really enjoying business analysis. So, I'm a junior at the moment. I'm working towards a roadmap that means I will get this IT allowance, which is a nice little pay boost, and means I become a full-fledged business analyst quite soon. So yeah, I want to stick at this for now, and I'm still doing an international diploma in business analysis as well, which Companies House has put me through. It's a really good opportunity, and yeah, it's a really good course so far. And once I've achieved that diploma, then I'm able to apply for senior business analysis roles as well. So that's something I'll definitely be interested in the future. But I think for now, I just need to still settle in. I'm only 5 months in, so still learning, and yeah, enjoying it for now. The future, I honestly don't know right now. One step at a time. But yeah, I'm enjoying it for now.
So just, Phoebe, we were talking before about some of the impacts that we get on, citizens, because obviously the work that we do impacts millions of users across the UK, and you were telling me that you've been working on some of our important critical projects. What does it feel like when you've worked on something and you see the website out there being used by the general public, people around the room today and friends and family?
Yeah, it's quite a surreal feeling. I actually have some friends who work in like finance related jobs and things like that, who've told me that in their work they've used services, and I've been like, oh, I helped build that.
Yeah.
So it is really cool to see something that you've been working on that feels like, I don't know, so immediate to you, and then it's out there. And when I hear some of the numbers of people that are using our services, and then sometimes the impact that's having in terms of like the value to the economy and that, it's really, I don't know. I don't think I think that much about it in the moment when I'm doing it, and then it's really impressive to hear about the impact that it has afterwards. And then I also really enjoy it whenever we test with users. Sometimes we do get some really positive feedback from users about how our services are easy to use and beneficial for them. So that's always really, really great to hear as well, that we're making a difference to them.
That's great. Any other questions in the audience? No. I think we'll wrap up then, unless anybody's got any final comments. Lawrence, go on.
Yeah, one more bit of advice as well, just based on people who are here as well. I think we've talked about a few opportunities, right? I think one thing to add is that there's no one set route you have to go down. So whether you go for an apprenticeship, whether you go for an apprenticeship degree, whether you decide to go to university and become a graduate, or just go straight into work, it's not like you've picked the wrong one. You can go far with whichever option you pick. So just to say that as well, because I've met people who've done apprenticeships, I've met people who've done graduate schemes like myself, I've met people who went straight into work, and people are doing really well in all those different areas. So just a bit of encouragement there as well. Don't feel like you'll pick the wrong one. There's no such thing. You can go far with whichever one you decide.
Yeah, very great words and wise words there to end on. Thank you, Lawrence, Lucy and Phoebe, for your time this afternoon, and thank you everybody for listening and for the great questions as well. Thanks very much. Back to you, Amir.
Let's have a round of applause. Thank you very much.